What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hitman Absolution. It's time to do Death Factory, a mission I have very mixed opinions on. I'd argue the first checkpoint in the test facility is one of the better target assassination checkpoints in the game, along with Chinatown Square and Streets of Hope. But the rest of the mission is still pretty flawed, especially the R&D checkpoint in particular. It was so obviously intended to just be a straight line, but having two targets on it just feels weird. Anyways, let's get started. Another thing weird is how the test facility is set up. This first area is kind of a pseudo checkpoint, I guess you could say, where all we have to do is open the door to get into the actual test facility. Take the key card right there. And now we're going to have to just sit through this dialogue so that one of those two guards exits the room, and then we can subdue them for a disguise. We don't really have anywhere to hide the body, but other than just putting him somewhere where the other guard won't find him. So unfortunately, all we can do is just sit and wait. Well, that's not all we can do. If you can do a gunshot distraction on these guys, it'll expedite the process a little bit. But it's tricky to do without getting caught. Or at the very least, I just suck at doing that. I'll admit that. So what we need is some stolen files, which is why that scientist guy is being interrogated. So we need to steal these stolen files off the desk in that room. And we're taking the guard disguise just so that we have a disguise once we enter the actual test facility. So this is a slog, but we just gotta deal with it. Sometime this year, the guard that's pacing is going to leave the room. Okay, here he goes. So let's go ahead and proceed. The keycard opens this door. I don't really understand the point of a keycard locked door in this tiny little map. Especially when the keycard is right around the corner from the door, and there's no other door that needs the keycard. Anyways, subdue the guard. And we're gonna hide him in front of the desk right here. Like, shove him in this corner as best as you can. And then put his clothes on. Now we need to distract the other guard by hitting this fire alarm right here. As he leaves the room, let's slip in and steal the stolen files. They will be immediately to the left on the table. Right there. Now we can just go back and use this. I guess the files have the combination to unlock the door. Now that guard is supposed to go back into the room, but for some reason he just didn't for me. But not a big deal. All you gotta do is just walk around him and don't get too close to him. Computer opens the door, and then on we go. I don't really understand why this area exists. It really shouldn't, honestly. And yes, this is technically part of the same checkpoint that we're about to enter. However, there is a mission, an actual checkpoint that's going to happen as soon as we're at the bottom of the lift. And if you restart checkpoint, it's not going to restart the level, it's going to restart you right here in the actual test facility. Anyways, now for the real test facility. We only have one target. His name is Dr. Green. There he is. Honestly, you could just skip this if you want. I just do it to pass time because we do have a little bit of a waiting period for our target to get into position for the death trap we're going to set up for him. So let's head to the right, pick up the wrench, and this corridor that's behind all these faux walls and stuff, we unfortunately have to clear all the guards out of this corridor, and there's exactly 3 of them. There's also a scientist wearing one of those yellow, like, you know, one of those yellow, like, what do you call it? Biosuits or whatever. But we don't have to take him out. We do need to take out all the guards, so throw the wrench where I threw it to distract this first one, and you can stash him in the locker, like so. And then we're going to have to get the wrench back and do the same exact distraction on the second guy. If you look at the mini-map, you can see him, but do the same thing to distract him. He's now a yellow dot, by the way. Anyways, let him come now. Any day now. There he is. And same thing, subdue and hide. The reason we want this corridor clear is because we don't want anyone to see us when we shoot a glass floor to kill our target. Not only because the guards will obviously just see through our disguise anyway, but we also don't want them to witness us performing that illegal action of shooting. The third and final guard we gotta take care of is at the end of the corridor, right here. But first we need a scientist to walk by so that a scripted conversation between them happens. So basically we just gotta hang out and let that happen. But it's okay because, like I said, there's a waiting period for the target to get into position, so it passes the time if nothing else. So go ahead and let them have their conversation. Let the scientist walk away, and then we're gonna throw the wrench one final time to distract this guard.
Fell off one of the platforms. Could anyone ever really
Yeah. A lot of waiting in this one.
If foul play wasn't involved, then who's the culprit?
And we gotta do a lot of pacifications, but at least most of them will be hidden. The exception was the very first guard that we stole the clothes from. But we literally had nowhere to hide his body, so I didn't have a choice but to accept the pacification penalty.
Oh, yeah, of course. Hypothetically.
Alright, so there he goes. Oh, before I forget, there's also a second objective on this map, and it's to disable the security system, which we're going to be doing after we get rid of this guard. So throw the wrench, let him investigate, and then as soon as he turns around, we will subdue and hide him in this crate that's right where we are. So subdue. No, not like that. Yes, like that. Subdue. And then hide him in the bin. And now let's go disable the security. There's a ladder right here. Or actually, before you do that, I almost forgot. Shoot that glass floor one time. Only one time. I cannot stress that enough. It takes 2 shots for it to shatter. The reason we're shooting it one time is so that when Dr. Green is in position and we shoot it again, it'll only take 1 shot. So the security system we need to disable is the desktop computer that's right where that guard is sitting. But if you listen to this guard conversation, they'll move after the conversation ends, and then we can just go to the computer and touch it. Objective complete. In the meantime, we're hiding on this old-ass laptop for them to move. Okay, there they go. Disable security. So that's the secondary objective completed. We just need to eliminate the target. And don't forget to disable that security system, because that objective is honestly kind of easy to miss, especially if you're doing this checkpoint the way I am. As far as other options for Dr. Green, you can arm the mines on the minefield and he'll walk right into them. There's like a little laboratory room next to that security room we were just in. You could put like a proximity sensor on one of the mines he's building to blow him up, but this will also kill other scientists in the room. Then there's like an area, a balcony area that overlooks a compost pile of dead test pigs. You can shove him into the dead pig corpses. But we're gonna do this. As soon as he arrives on the control platform, shoot the floor again to shatter it, and down he goes. When you shoot it, make sure that other scientist that's up there walking back and forth is not standing on the glass. If he is, he'll fall and die too, and we can't have that. It'll void Silent Assassin, obviously. Alright, now we've got this checkpoint. This one's also kind of pointless, albeit not as pointless as the little mini pseudo checkpoint before the actual test facility. Anyways, we are at least going to make the most of this checkpoint by upgrading our disguise before proceeding. Oh, and we do have an objective. We have to disable another security system. But we're going to dress up as one of the researchers that can access, that works in the R&D lab, or the silo as they call it. In this shower room, we're going to want to turn the valve because there's a guard in the next room that just sits in a chair, and we're going to have to get rid of him. If we don't, we're not going to be able to distract the researcher very easily and or take him out and hide his body. So unfortunately this guard's got to go. But if you evaporate steam all over the shower room, it'll distract him to come fix the valve, where we can subdue him. But make sure you subdue him quick, because you still want the steam to be in the room. That way we can use the cover of the steam to dump him down a laundry chute in the corner of the room. So yeah, go ahead and subdue. By the time you're done subduing him, any scientist that may have heard that will turn back around, stay to the left, and the laundry chute is right there. This is where we'll hide the body. And then, now we'll go after the aforementioned researcher. You need to do this in a very specific way. It's tricky because of the two yellow scientists in the room. But basically, we need to do a gunshot distraction on the lockers. But, so one of them's moving now. The guy to the left at the sink, as soon as he flaps his hands, that will be our cue to distract the researcher. So, ready, hand flap. There it is. Shoot the locker exactly where I shot it. And make sure you don't let the researcher see you, otherwise he'll figure out that you caused the noise, and I think it'll count as being spotted. So anyways, subdue him here, and then we're going to have to wait again before we can safely hide his body. Drag him a little bit closer to the end, because basically that scientist is coming back and we need him to go away again. And then the guy at the sink, we need him to go away again as well. So... Oh, I think I figured out what I did. I looked at the locker on purpose because I was trying to show you again the bullet hole of exactly where you want to shoot the locker for the distraction to work correctly so that you could subdue the researcher without any risk of anyone seeing you or hearing you. So once the coast is clear, we can drag the researcher over here to hide the body and take his clothes. Now let's go disable that security system in the... I guess that's a break room right there. The evidence is also in there, so we're going to go ahead and get it. In order to get the evidence, you need to stand in this exact spot, because in any other position, it won't let you pick it up for some reason. Disable security, and with this disguise, we can walk right into the silo entrance. Right over here. Alright, let's go. Now for the... I guess you could call it the silo, but the official name of this checkpoint is R&D. You can kind of tell how linear it is just by looking at the descending walkways that go in a circle, but IO tried to course correct it by turning it into a target checkpoint, and there's not one but two targets. So let's do it. This is why we wanted the researcher disguise in the previous checkpoint, because the guards are swarming these catwalks, and you'd have to burn all your instinct to blend in past them. So we're going to go through this. There's two doors that say chemical lab. Go through the second door that says chemical lab, because the room contains this stuff called fire paste that we need. And then up here, this room, this is the first door that said chemical lab. We're going to put that fire paste in the test tube, which has hair growth formula in it. And it will eliminate our first target, Dr. MacGuffin. I mean, Dr. Valentine. So if done correctly, he should come immediately after spiking the formula. So like I said, this checkpoint is kind of weird in how it's so linear, but yet they try to force target assassinations into it. But on the bright side, this checkpoint does have some of the best accident kills in the game. I'll give it that. But I still think the test facility is better because it's way larger, it's relatively open-ended, and there's a decent variety of ways you can eliminate the target. Plus, having one target is it's a situation of like less is more. But anyways, yep. Now that's a good kill right there. Definitely makes this checkpoint worth it, I guess. So carefully go around the researchers so that we can go this way and we'll continue our descent. And now we're going to have to go after the second target, Dr. Ashford, who is all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, everything is secure.
The bottom area.
Yep, the bridge is up.
While Dr. Valentine had a few good accident kills to set him that you could set up, Dr. Ashford here only really has one. The other option is similar to the shower room in the decontamination area we were just in. There's a valve that you can use to evaporate smoke all over this room. And if Dr. Ashford is in the right position, you can fiber wire him and then dump his body over these ledges to hide it. But the accident kill is more entertaining, so I'm definitely going to do that.
I have never seen.
Honestly, this checkpoint should have just been one target or the other, not both. That way,
Never you mind.
you could have the one target exploring the entire R&D area, and then all these accident kills could be for the one target, instead of having the other target stealing them all, and then Dr. Ashford hardly gets anything. Basically, we're just biding our time because we need Dr. Ashford to come into this, I guess, test room where there's like a test chair or whatever. That one, right there. We just need to wait for him. So, we're just gonna wait for him. Yeah, this is another case of sitting and waiting, but it's worth it for the kills that you get. And yes, both of these accident kills do lead to challenges, so that's a plus. While standing in this corner, if any researchers come close to spotting you, you can either crouch or you can just finagle yourself so that they don't see you anymore. But we're just waiting for Dr. Ashford. Should be coming any minute now. Basically, in this test chair, there's like a robotic arm with like a drill on it. We're gonna activate it and set it up to kill him. But you can't do it until he's in the chair, obviously. Alright, here he comes. So we'll trail him into the room. Like so.
Is the chair ready yet?
Watch out for the other researcher that's in
Don't even
here.
answer. That vacant look tells me everything.
Crouch in front of the computers.
We just
I
hire
can't stress that
anyone with a
enough.
heartbeat these days.
Crouch in front of the computers.
Father, I'll take care
You
of
want to
it
do
myself.
this because as soon as we activate that robot arm, that researcher is going to get distracted and turn around. And if we're crouched in front of the computers, that'll give us the cover where he won't see us. And we'll get a front row seat of the accident kill as well. Alright, he's gone. So now we can just very carefully slip out. You don't need to blend in unless somehow he starts walking towards you, which never happens, or at least it's never happened to me. Alright, we gotta get to the exit. There's a drawbridge over there that we need to call. Thankfully, there's a button over there. We don't have to go anywhere else to call the bridge. But there's two researchers in the way. One is gonna walk away. The other one we gotta distract. So,
illegal bioengineering lab.
sorry, it's hard to time. I record these while watching the video with the audio muted. But since there are so many dialogues that we have to sit through in this level, it's hard to time my own dialogue around it. But it's just because of the ridiculously cheap way that I make these videos. Anyways, the computer. You can activate that robotic arm. Don't worry, it's not going to kill the person in the chair this time. It's just going to spin around and go haywire, and it'll distract the other researchers so that we can get by. So call the bridge. Best thing to do is to take cover here. That way, none of these researchers will point their eyes in your general direction, causing the ever-annoying vision cones to show up. Alright, let the bridge approach. Let the rail clip through the warning signs, like so. And now, we're gonna complete what I guess is the third objective. You need to destroy the servers in this laboratory to destroy Dr. Ashford's research on Victoria. There's two. One here. One in the opposite corner over here.
On the surface, the subject is an ordinary teenager.
Go ahead and kill him. Or kill the servers, I guess. And now, let's just go out the convenient exit that's right here. Alright, there we go. That completes the level. On we go next time. See ya!